Hello guys, welcome to HRL Season 5, Round number 9. This is going to be Gridiron. MX going to have Moto 1 here, finally up to the Moto's been waiting patiently for this, but finally we're here. Should be some really fun races. The return of motocross to HRL, it is about time, and it's going to be really interesting. I'm genuinely excited to see what happens in these races. Remember, when the gate drops, that's when we're going to be going green. Nobody's screwing around with the 30-second girl this time because they're all in the gate, because we got the Motos going. Bye. Should drop soon. And here we go, green flag. Who's got the best start? Looks like Fireball definitely with the best start. Justice had a very good start, but an average gate pick. Oh no, lots of piling up going on in the first couple corners. Fireball absolutely with the whole shot. Close battle for second there. Oh, another 3 drivers right there going down into the entrance of the whoop section. I saw Bean. I think I might have saw Ricardo or someone else, but saw Bean for sure involved in that. Looks like that's Hunter up there. Yeah, Hunter. Hunter's getting passed by Luke right now for... Oh, Hunter going down on the landing of the jump. What position was that for? I think we'll figure it out soon enough. Alright, so we got Fireball in first, Slaunch in second, Real Deal third, Detail fourth, and Luke fifth. There we go. So that's your top 5. Going into the whoop section, and it looks like Slaunch went down at the entrance of it. He's going to fall all the way back down to 5th. Perhaps Detail might have got caught up in that as well because he's in 4th, whereas Luke moved up to 3rd. And Fireball and Real Deal is still pretty close for 1st and 2nd. Roman up there as well, trying to make a recovery. You know, obviously, not a very good run for him in the beginning of this race. So he's hoping to catch up, maybe get some positions back throughout the entirety of this moto. He's hoping to have a really good long run. We'll have to see how it goes down though. Real Deal, on the other hand, is tracking down Fireball for the lead right now, and he's really close, just right on Fireball's bumper. If Fireball makes a mistake, that's going to open up an opportunity for Real Deal. So he's right on the bumper now. Luke's catching up too. So this is going to be an interesting battle for the lead here. Fireball's definitely going to have to step up the pace. He's got Detail coming up behind Luke as well. So the whole Lil Pump crew, oh no, getting loose. And that's going to slow them down just a little bit. Not by much. But regardless, Fireball's definitely going to have to pick up the pace here because he's got several fast drivers behind him. And they're definitely hungry for wins, as hungry as he is. Fireball still winless on the season. Alright, going into the whoop section. Fireball getting a little loose, and he's going to go down. Loses 2 spots. Loses 1st and 2nd to Real Deal and Luke, but Detail still in 4th, was not able to get by Fireball quite yet. So Fireball, oh, he got a little loose there, but he still held onto it. But Fireball getting a little loose and just loses a couple spots there. Not very good for him, but the fact that he's still in podium position is sort of a redeeming factor. Let's see how they're going into the second corner. Fireball trying to make a move on Luke, but yeah, I was going to say he's going to fall right back behind him because if he tries to make a move there, then he's not going to have the inside line. And Fireball, as you could tell, definitely prefers the inside line through that whoop section. So he settled out to get that inside because he'd rather run behind Luke and run the inside than run side by side with Luke and run the middle. I think he deemed the middle the more risky choice. Going through here, looks like we got, yes, these 3 guys up top still really close. Detail not that far behind in 4th, trying to make as many gains as possible. Fireball trying to regain some spots. I mean, obviously he's hungry for a win. He's got to be hungry for a win. This has got to be his longest winless streak in quite a while. Probably since this is probably his longest winless streak since after his first win in Season 4 to his 2nd win. That was a pretty long winless streak. This one's got to be getting close to that though. Looks like we have a battle there with Justice. I think that might even be Roman catching up to them. It's hard to tell between Roman and Hunter because without without their armor, with both of their armors glitched, they look very similar. Usually you can tell Hunter easily by his trademark yellow armor, but he's I think he got com banned on his other account, so he's racing on a different account here. So on that other account he has green, I guess, as his color. And no, it's not duck. Lol. Ooh, getting really loose right there. Justice almost wrecking out, and I think Roman has the darker green, so yeah, I believe that's Hunter there behind Roman. Roman is the front green driver here, the one trying to battle with Justice, because I believe that Roman's green is a little bit darker, if I recall correctly. Bean, Opix, Ricardo, I believe those guys still battling in the back there for those back spots. Solange getting pretty close to detail there, not quite able to make the pass. Five minutes remaining in this moto, halfway through, and definitely a lot of battles to come before we're done here. Gonna get a nice shot here of most of the drivers coming out the whoops. You can see most of them running the inside now. I think most drivers have figured it out at this point. That's kind of what I figured would happen. You know, the warm-ups, a lot of different lines being ran there. People just didn't really know what was fast yet. And now that we're in the moto, I think everybody, for the most part, kind of has it figured out. Even some of the back drivers, even though they're stuck back there, they have it figured out. Close contact right there. Someone's trying to make a move on detail, just can't quite get the move down. Then he has a really slow run through the whoop section there. Looks like Roman's gotten by Justice at this point, but Roman's still, like, I feel like it's surprising that he's in the position that he is, because it seems like he's the only driver on track still running the middle consistently in the whoop section. Yet he's actually gaining a spot here or there, which is surprising. I feel like he should be going backwards if he's still running the middle. If he doesn't switch to the inside soon, then I think he's not even going to get, I don't even think he'd get close to the top 5. Definitely going to have to adapt, and sometimes it's hard, especially on a motocross track, to adapt. Like, you know, usually you practice and you don't. This is some advice I guess I have to newer drivers. Even if you have a line that you know is faster, a preferred line, practice every line at least a little bit, because you never know what situation may occur in the race, what scenario that may call for you to take that unpreferred line. And knowing how to take it well, knowing how to take it consistently might surprise someone, and it might save you a spot, it might gain you a spot, it might prevent you from losing many spots if you didn't know how to take it and you ended up wrecking on it. Essentially what I'm trying to say is, when you practice a track, you want to practice the track in its entirety. You want to know everything you can about it. You want to try to get an idea of how to run every section in every way possible. Now, obviously, you cannot figure out, you know, there's so many different ways to run a track. You know, obviously, you're not going to get everything, like literally everything, but I'd say every corner will have, like, on a motocross track or a supercross track, we'll have 2 or 3 basic lines for the most part. Every section will. And if you can figure out all of them, even the ones that aren't preferred, that'll definitely be a big advantage to have those moves in your arsenal, really, just to have them there. But getting back to my point about adapting, that, like, when you don't do what I just said, it becomes very difficult to adapt. And when you see everybody else running a fast line, you don't even want to take that fast line, because just because you're not used to it. You're not used to it. It's kind of a risk to start taking something that you're not used to and that you have little experience on, and it might flip you, even though it doesn't wreck anyone else because they're well versed on it. It might wreck you just because you're not used to it. So I guess that's my advice. And you can kind of see that with this track. I think this race is a good example of it too. Like, you can see a lot of drivers just not prepared to have to take certain lines, and then it doesn't go well for them. And that's certainly not an advantage. Not knowing all the lines, not knowing how to take all the lines is absolutely not an advantage. But Detail has gotten by Fireball now for the podium spot to put it into the Lil Pump 1, 2, 3. And then Fireball is going to be 4th and Slaunch in 5th. I don't know if Detail is going to be able to catch up to Luke and Real Deal though, because they've been up there. You know, they've been duking it out, but at the same time, they've been gaining quite a bit of time, and they have quite a gap on third place now. And then the third through fifth has quite a bit of a gap on sixth and seventh as well, like a huge gap. Going out of the whoop section, still pretty close battles between these guys, not really getting too dirty with each other, you know, just firm handshakes. Nothing too dirty. Looks like Justice in risk of losing another position, I believe. Oh, that driver. I think that's got to be Hunter there. It's got to be Hunter. Yeah, I can tell by the brightness of the green. So, Hunter catching up to Justice. Going to go back to the lead battle, though, because we haven't watched it too much, and it's getting down to crunch time. And these guys have just been, like, right on each other this entire time. It's been a really close battle between Real Deal and Luke, and it's definitely winding down. Let's see what the counter tells us this time. Looks like we're 3 laps to go. 3 laps remaining in the race. And we'll have to see here if Luke can pull some magic on Real Deal in the last couple laps. It's going to be difficult because, you know, that's one of the things that comes with being teammates is you practice together, and, you know, they know each other's preferences on this track. They know how each other like to run the track. So it's kind of an interesting battle here. Definitely, you can tell they have similar lines from practicing together. Real Deal definitely hit the whoop section better that lap, and is going to get a little bit of a gap from it. Going to be going into 2 laps to go here for the first moto at Gridiron. It's kind of sad. I just want to keep racing on this track because it's honestly really fun. Looks like Solange got by Fireball for 4th, it appears. Looking at a couple of the other positions on the track. We'll get back to the lead battle in just a moment here. Just getting a little update on the entire field because these people are all over the place, everywhere. All over the track. No lap traffic though, as far as I'm aware. At least not yet, so that's good. Surprisingly enough too, like it's not that, it's kind of a shorter lap time for some supercrosses, but no lap traffic still, so that's good. Looks like we're going to be hitting white flag final lap here. We'll jump on with the leaders in just a second. Alright, so here we go. We're going to go on board with Luke, trying to chase down Real Deal here on the final lap, final chance. Looks like Luke had a good run there. I think that's one of the sections where he tends to get time on Real Deal. It's going to be all about the whoop section though. And they might have a little bit of lap traffic playing a role here just at the very end. And I think Luke definitely had the better run than Real Deal right there. Is he going to be able to make a move? Gets cross-rutted in the middle of that rut and not going to be able to make one. I think Real Deal had that, though. I mean, all he had to do was protect that inside in the berm, and I don't think there's any way Luke could have passed him. Just a nice race ran out of both of them. Real Deal going to take the moto win. Luke in second, and Detail going to round out that podium. The rest of the drivers coming across the line. Yeah, just a really nice race ran there out of Real Deal. From start to finish, very clean, very efficient, very effective, didn't make too many mistakes, and it was definitely a worthy win. I think he's very proud of this win because, you know, the last win that he got was definitely helped out by the caution, so I think this kind of gets that monkey off his back where there's no cheese like that. It was just a clean race, and he went out there and got the moto win, so definitely a big one for him. Now the question is, can he get the overall to come with that moto win? We'll have to see Moto 2 and find out. Hope you guys enjoyed this race. Results on the screen. See you for Moto 2.